Welcome back, Cindy Dole here, and let's get it started. This is Home Wizards, where we talk about the things that you might want to get started in your home and in your life every Saturday from 2 to 4 to help hopefully brighten your home and your world and your life with ways just to improve those spaces that you call home. And so for the past couple of weeks, I've been out and about, traveling in search of what I think are really hot things and trendy things and maybe just classic, elegant things that you're going to want to have, some things that are timeless, some things that are just new and fresh to kind of perk up your place. And one of the neat trade shows I got to attend was the International Builder Show in Orlando, where I got to see a lot of new products and innovations. The big brands you hear of, and some of the medium-sized and smaller ones all showing off and strutting their stuff. And it's also a place where a lot of the minds in home improvement get together and they talk about the status of things and then kind of look ahead to what's coming in the next year or so. And, of course, that spells out Better Homes and Gardens because they're always there and they've always have been there on the cutting edge of what's going on. And so with me is one of our friends from the great magazine, the editorial director for home content, Jill Waage. Thanks for being here, Jill.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You got it. So did you like the Builder Show? Did it feel good to you? Did it seem like things were a little more upbeat like it did to me?
Yeah, I think so. I thought that everything, there was a real sense of some unification around what some of the three big topics were that everybody was talking about, and I think we all heard a lot of the same trends and a lot of the same consumer needs over and over again throughout the show, and that's always really reaffirming.
Mm-hmm. And what were some of those three trends?
I think we still heard a lot about a lot about energy efficiency, and it was interesting to hear the talk between what's green and what's energy efficient, and that while these decisions are all still very green focused and good for the earth, there's a lot of emphasis on that energy efficiency and how the consumer benefits in the end from the savings in their own pocketbook with that. A lot about universal design and aging in place, a lot of good product coming out around that, and then still a lot about small space, just thinking of smart solutions and smart products if our home spaces aren't quite as large as they used to be.
Speaking of aging in place, did you see this bathtub that's out by Kohler called the Elevance?
Wasn't that amazing?
It's like a plasma screen, if you could picture it as you're listening. One side of the bathtub just goes, and it makes it easier for folks who have a hard time getting in and out of a tub.
It looked so comfortable.
I got in it.
I love how it had a bit of a recline to the back, and you could raise your feet a bit. Your knees came up a little bit so that you just knew it would be comfortable. And all the faucets and all the handles were all within really easy reach. That was very innovative.
Did you climb inside it like I did, or no?
I did not climb inside it.
Well, I did. I mean, it was the dry version, but, it was very relaxing and very, a lot of leg room, which I also like. But anyway, so yeah, aging in space, which is something that we know is going to be here to stay, as the population gets older, right? And then I like what you were saying about green. It isn't just green. It's truly, how is it going to help the environment and really help me save a few bucks?
Yes, I think we've observed that that's really what consumers need to know, and what we as in the media need to help educate people on, is that it's not just the right choice for the earth, but it really makes sense when it makes sense for your own finances. And when we can get all the decision making in home improvement and remodeling, all the decisions to be the right ones and to be green, so to point out what are the smart decisions to make along the way. Whether there is no other choice, there's no choice to make a bad decision for the earth. They're all good ones. They're all improving, and really showing people how they can save along the way, and in their energy costs and in their replacement costs. That education just continues to be really important.
And saving energy and also saving time, and that's where I found a lot of these a lot of technological cute gadgets, like these apps seem to be everywhere. Did you see the Bear Paint app where you can use your phone, take a picture, and then you can match the paint? And there's a lot of others out there where it seems like it's really trying to help us feel like we're more empowered,
Yes, it saves a lot of the legwork, takes out a lot of the mystery and the confusion and the doubt that you can play with the paint color first and find out what area of the paint chip aisle you want to go to at least narrow your search a little bit and help match to some of the things that are in your own home. Well, I think too on the time savings, our readers are always interested in this, and you hear a lot about it at the show. Just maintenance time. Just products that have they have a low maintenance factor to them are just really important for folks. Everyone's really, really busy, and they want to make good decisions in their home and good products that are going to last, and the ones that require the least amount of maintenance. It's just a double win.
So you guys are always so right at the pulse of what people really want, because, I mean, how long has Better Homes and Gardens been around? Since the 40s, I want to say.
Oh, like forever.
Yeah. I mean,
it started out as fruit garden and home way back in the 1920s.
20s, okay, yeah. So, I mean, you're a part of our fabric of America for sure. And so, you're kind of in sync with what the typical family really wants and sees as, okay, I get it. Don't just try to throw me some bill of goods,
Realistic and comfortable, yes. Very, very much what we have been about.
And so does it seem that the green movement is being embraced more by your readers, and that it is not just okay for the extreme, that it's something that's truly doable and makes sense?
Yes, I think the more and more of the homes that we feature and that we get the chance to peek into. We get to peek into thousands of homes a year through our scouting system and being out and about. It's more and more common to see houses in the first place where we look at the photos of them and we think, wow, this is beautiful, this is great, and we look at all the wonderful features in the kitchen or in the bath remodel or just in the home construction itself, and then at the very end of the notes it says, oh, and this was a green remodel, and that's just a really great indicator that there's so much available that's very, very style driven that helps you still make the right choice.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not that the entire project was all completely green front to back, but everyone's making little choices along the way. We decided to keep the cabinetry and that we could just paint that, but we really needed to replace we needed to replace the flooring, and so we did that with bamboo. And people making little choices along the way where they can as they mesh up with their priorities.
Well, when we come back, speaking of choices, Jill, I know you guys did an extensive study on what kind of choices that we are wanting to make for the home, and you're talking about making it more of a personalized home, and then the home office thing, and I love also really making the laundry room something that's a little more special in terms of storage. So don't go away, because we want to talk through all that and kind of apply what you found to some of the choices that we're making as we kind of get our to-do list together for 2011, all right? You're listening to Home Wizards, and you can always, by the way, go back to Better Homes and Gardens website, a really great one. It's simply bhg.com, and they have all kinds of videos and articles and things that are some good tips, all right? But we have tips here, so don't go away. We have more fun as it continues always every Saturday. Cindy Dole, Home Wizards, and we're back in just a bit.
Look how we came, 'cause here I come. Why the hell it means so much to me?
When I hear that song, I think of The Devil Wears Prada, and I think of what's chic and fashionable, and of course, then I think of Better Homes and Gardens, because we're talking with them all about what was really cool and unveiled at the International Builders Show in Orlando, and I was there spending a few days kind of on the prowl and hunt for what's cool, and so was Jill Waage, who's the editorial director for home content for Better Homes and Gardens. So Jill, thanks for sharing time with us today. Tell me a bit about the survey that you did about consumers feeling that this might be the right time to not only spend on home improvement, but maybe get a bigger home or expand on the home?
Yes, we actually did a survey of 2,000 members of our reader panel and asked them what their intended square footage was going to be for their next home purchase. And actually, for the first time in a few years, the median square footage intended actually went up by 50 square feet. So while that's not necessarily, a huge turnaround, at least it looked like a sign of some confidence and a sign that we're saying that it sounds like people are giving themselves permission to dream again and to think a bit about what that next home is going to be. So that was a real positive sign.
Boy, hallelujah on that, huh? Yeah. I'm so tired of it. Well, because of the economy. I mean, I just want to get that out of my vocabulary,
Right. And we also noticed a change in the decision-making pattern. Back in that time period of 2003, 2008, people were more likely to commit that they are going to commit to building a new house or commit to a home improvement project and sign up, and this is what I'm going to do, and then spend some time researching, and then go ahead and do it. And now, through some different research through HomeSite and through Sinovate and HERE and looking through all those different reports, there's been a shift change from '09 to however long this lasts, that so much more research time is being done up front
That makes
before
sense.
the actual commitment is done, and then it's a shorter time frame to the doing. So people spending a lot more time leading up to that go, no-go decision, that do I want to remodel my kitchen? Do we want to build a new home? And really in that needs kind of assessment period.
That's smart, though. Before you pull the trigger, really make sure that you know, because we've already seen what bad can happen,
Right. And then we also saw people really interested in spending more time doing research to try to get a good deal or to get a bargain or to save money, that they're willing to spend that time of their own to make sure they're getting what they want, rather than just going out and making quick snap decisions.
Very, very smart. Yeah, I think we've gotten a little wiser with this.
I think we have. I actually had a great conversation with our the president of the Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Group ahead of the show, and she had a really interesting observation that really the home buyer these days has had a real change in mindset. That in the past there may have been a mindset of entitlement, that of course I'm going to have the next big house, and of course I'm going to live here for a while and sell and then move on to the next big house. But now she said that overwhelmingly there is much more a sense of gratitude. That anyone who is out buying a new home, building a home, doing a project, really comes at it from a sense of knowing that they're really fortunate, and they have a lot of gratitude for being able to do that. So I thought that was a really great, great mindset shift.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with almost like the World War II mentality. Don't spend what you don't have.
There are so many things that my World War II era mother taught me that, that she laughs that they're now in vogue again. She said, "You guys think this is all cool and new? These are things that we did way back then."
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and when you say that, we might be having a reality check and not having a sense of entitlement, but that doesn't mean that we don't want to feel pampered. And I love that you're saying that home personalization is really a big trend, because we want that space, whether it's a kitchen or a family room or a laundry room or whatever, to feel cozy and maybe be more all-purpose.
Right. Yes, that centralized living zone, the world where life exists in that kitchen that's open or maybe even separated just through a partial wall into that living area. There's probably the survey showed that people wanted to have workspaces and like a home computing desk that's somewhere in that vicinity, and we see that coming across our desks all the time in homes that we're photographing. That the family really. Everyone has their own laptop and their own iPod and their own device, and they're on their own computers, but there's still this sense that you still want to be in proximity with each other. And so someone can be in the kitchen, and someone can be using a gaming system in the family room right there, and someone can be working on homework, and you still feel like you're a part of a family and you're still together, even though everyone's sort of plugged into their own little area.
Well, even like with tomorrow with the game, I can imagine a lot of folks might want to have their laptop and maybe even tweet or Facebook or do whatever while they're watching and, of course, eating, doing all that together.
Well, I think it's very important. We're seeing people be really smart about planning the surfaces in that space to accommodate what they might be doing there, making sure there's the great place for the large television. There is a spot to sit up at a counter with a laptop and plug in and recharge. You can sit in the family can sit in the banquette in the kitchen, and someone can be doing homework or checking email or looking up a recipe. So making sure you have the places to plug in and the places to perch to have those activities in that same centralized living space.
So is Hive area the buzzword? It always seems
Hive,
to be.
Yes,
Hive?
we do hear that a lot. Yeah, Hive is one of them. Living core is another term that we hear. Yeah.
Okay. And what about the grilling area? Because even though I know it's been so cold across much of the country, and it's actually kind of hard, I hate to rub it in, but it's a little springy here in LA today.
Yes, but your weather forecast sounds much better than ours.
Yeah, but we're always in grill mode, and heck, with tomorrow we might be wanting to put some burgers or ribs on the grill. Is the outdoor grilling living experience still a major priority, you think, for this year, to do something to improve that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We asked consumers what their top-ranking living spaces were that they wanted for their next home, And number one was a separate laundry room. Number two was additional storage space with walk-in closets and built-ins. Number three was a home office workspace or family computing center. But number four in priority, coming in at 67%, was an outdoor grilling and living area. Mm-hmm. And we still do see that as being very important, both from the home and from the garden side, but maybe things being a little more realistic in scale. Definitely still an outdoor grilling area and a place to live. It's a nice extension of that living space. If the home's not as big, or we're not going to build a new one, or we're not going to add an addition, well, if we can expand that the seating area and the dining area outside and have a grill, then you feel like you've gained some of that living space. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not the huge full-size kitchens that we saw a lot in the past. Maybe it is just more of a moderate grilling area, maybe just a bar height counter for more casual dining, but still an important space, just maybe scaled down a little bit depending on the region where you live.
Yeah, because full-blown outdoor kitchens can be, as pricey, if not pricier sometimes, than kitchen remodels on the inside, so you have to kind of pick and choose, but I do love how they look. Oh, they're so great.
Yep.
And then the bedroom with its own private bath, you guys are seeing that as a wish list item for us, huh?
Yes, our readers still indicated that. It came in at number 5 of a priority item of additional bedroom and a private bath. Still having that extra space, and we didn't in the survey get down to the specifics on what the intention of that is. But as we can imagine, there are a lot of reasons right now why people would want that. Not only as a guest space, but what if a parent needs to come and live for a while, or an adult child needs to come back and have a space. That was still a real desired feature to be planned for in the future. A
little more privacy at the same time. Well, thanks for sharing with us, Jill, and we can always go to their website, bhg.com, and see your issue of Better Homes and Gardens on the stands. We'll have you back real soon. You have a good weekend, okay?
Thank you so much. You too.
Thank you. All righty. Up next, we're going to do a little more traveling. We're going to go back to Canada, and I'm going to share a little bit more about what I found at this international design show. Boy, those people in Toronto, they sure know how to dress. And wait to hear about some of the new colors that you're going to want to think about for your sink and for your kitchen. That's next. Home Wizards, I'm Cindy Dole, and you know what? The fun is just getting started.